Hey everybody, it's November 10th, 2025, and guess what time it is? It's your favorite time of the week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi everybody, I'm Paul.
Hello, this is Bev.
And It's a favorite time of our month.
Yep, we have one too, huh?
Yeah, because we're together in the studio, real live touching person here.
Touchy. Touch.
All right, so we're going to talk about, it says here, pregnancy and babies. It said Baby Fest on the first thing.
Yes.
Because we went to the Baby Fest
we
2025.
did on Saturday. Yeah. We all went. That was awesome.
So this is a yearly event that is just most awesome. And I think this has been the 10th year.
Wow.
Or so, something
really?
like that.
Oh, my goodness.
And they have all these folks there sharing, midwives, doulas, all kinds of things that are available to new families, families that have numerous children, pregnant families,
yeah.
Newly birthed family. There was one gal there with, I think it was not even a 1 month old baby she was holding.
There were some tiny ones, I know. Like she just got out of the hospital.
Right. So it's an awesome experience, and so we're there, we're doing our BioTouch. So we just wanted again to go over, first of all, some of the experiences we had.
Yeah.
Did you work on any of the mothers or babies? With the babies?
Yeah, I did. That was kind of an interesting. I was talking to one of the other practitioners there, and I said, it seems to me that when I was working on the mom, and she's holding the baby like on her chest, the baby just kind of did some weird stuff. It just kind of looked at both of us and then just kind of put her head on her mommy's chest and then just kind of calmed down. I thought, wow. It really is. We are connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also was able to teach, I remember one young man, he was there watching his wife, and he didn't want to get worked on. He said, I like to watch, but I was able to teach him while he was sitting there watching. And he actually did the point, he did the greeting, on his wife.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
And it was great, and you can only hope that they'll do it. It's just so hard to get, it's so new concept.
Well, it is. But I think that them actually, you guiding him through doing that, somewhere in him he's like, I actually can do this.
Right.
This is not weird or anything. I can, and then it percolates and you go, wow, maybe I can actually help my wife. Right. I mean, there's the thought, right, that we want to happen. But yeah, just helping them walk through that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have a little, there's a little QR code they can sign up, and they can get the downloadable version of a little workbook for labor.
Yeah.
And delivery, and then there's another little workbook for breastfeeding. And I'll tell you, probably the most amazing thing that happened to me was this young lady she brought her son over, and she sat down to get worked on. Right. And he's standing at the table, and I just sort of put up my two fingers like this and just looked at him and went, no words. And he goes, just shakes his head, yes.
Just sat down in that chair.
And he went and sat down in the chair.
Crazy.
And as I did the greeting and the headset with him.
Yeah.
So folks, we're talking, 6 to 8 seconds for the greeting and maybe a couple of minutes for the headset.
Yeah.
That entire time, that young boy, he's not even 5 years old.
Yeah, my goodness.
Had his eyes wide open. Staring straight out into the ozone. I mean, people were walking
just
by and everything. There was a
right?
lot of activity.
Oh, yeah.
And he never blinked once.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Just in that moment. Well, be as a child.
Yes.
That's what we are saying.
Now, the next amazing thing that happened is when I'm done with him and we're finishing up on his mother, he goes over to his mother and he starts trying to find the points with his two fingers.
I love it.
He starts trying to find the points on his mother.
Man, isn't that the vision that we have?
Yes.
I mean, seriously, this is one of the main reasons why we keep showing up, all of us.
Yeah.
Is that we understand how important it is to get BioTouch into the family unit. That's where everything starts, from prenatal to grandma and grandpa being around. I mean, it's what do we say? BioTouch is for every stage of life.
Yes.
Every stage of life.
And what was really cool, she says to me, she says, well, can children take the class? And I
Please.
went, your 5-year-old could take this class.
Right.
And you and him could be there together, and he would pick it up
Quicker than you.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Whenever we've taught kids, they just go to the points. They don't need to measure. They don't need to understand why. They just get it.
Well, we say that BioTouch is innate in all of us. Now, if we really mean that, what happens when you're a child? You don't have a lot of the worldly societal programming that the rest of us. You're basically a trusting, a child who just is open to so many things. Well, that's exactly why they know what BioTouch is, because that's what BioTouch holds for us. All of that.
So it was interesting. This morning, I got on my TikTok feed an organization that is actually mapping the brain all the way from conception.
Wow. That's
and
crazy.
Through birthing and through birth and through young life and older, so it's mapping the brain cells and everything itself. And I just thought about this work that Kenna had done, mapping the
frontal
lobes and the temporal
cortex.
lobes.
Yeah.
And how BioTouch from the beginning of conception, and we've always said this too, just doing BioTouch on the pregnant mother is going to affect the baby.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh. And I think I know I have a little story about that. Remember when we were doing the integrative kids?
Yeah.
When we were volunteering, one of the volunteers wanted to try BioTouch, came in, I did the usual headset, and I said, well, is there anything else? And she says, well, not many people know yet, but I'm pregnant. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, I have something if you want to, called the lower abdomen set, right? Well, now she was just entering into her second trimester, right? So I'm doing the lower abdomen set on. All of a sudden, she just, and I'm like, what? That's her first response, right? She goes, oh my God, I just felt the baby kick for the first time.
Okay.
I said, see, even in the womb, BioTouch, they know. It's a loving, caring, safe thing. And your baby somehow knew that.
And that reminds me of that woman that we worked on who was pregnant.
Yes.
Her mother was working at the center in Hawaii. And she came in every Friday at 10 a.m.
Yes, I love this.
And
story.
we would work on her and the baby would kick during that time and stuff.
Yep.
And when did she have her baby?
Ooh.
It was a Friday at 10 a.m.
That is absolutely first time I ever heard that story. I'm like, what? I know. We do a lot of that, huh?
So interesting, because her mother would work on her all the time, and so we do have. On our research page, we have a little musings from Penny Musings, which I just saw her again at this Baby Fest.
She was one of the presenters there, wasn't she?
And she said to send her some information that she can give all of her students.
Well, we're going to.
Getting CE credits.
Absolutely.
And all the doulas that can get CE credits.
Yes.
And she wrote a little about, she calls BioTouch for pregnancy, labor, and postpartum. But we'll just go with the beginning one. She says, touch activates oxytocin and endorphins, which we just looked up. The oxytocin is the love hormone. The endorphins is the pain reliever part of our hormones, right?
Hormones.
These are two components that the body produces for labor to progress. Touch as a way of communicating. Touch as a way of offering your undivided attention to your client, partner, family member. Touch initiates physiological and psychological responses. And, the touch being activated, this was done some huge research in Florida at the Touch Research Institute. Tiffany Fields, I mean, that's been decades ago she did that.
Yeah.
But we hope Kenna's research will show more about what touch does to these oxytocin levels, endorphin levels,
absolutely,
brainwave patterns.
My gosh, well, it's going to that's going to be an interesting data to see for sure.
And then Penny goes on, she talks about the sympathetic and parasympathetic arousal. So this is really interesting, this part of it. She goes, labor pain can lead to sympathetic arousal, which produces tension in the circular fibers of the uterus and rigidity at the opening of the cervix. That's sympathetic arousal.
Right.
Touch can lead to parasympathetic arousal, which relaxes the circular fibers of the uterus and stimulates the vertical fibers, thereby allowing effacement and dilation to proceed.
Ooh, well, we have often said, wow, BioTouch seems to help through the labor process. We didn't get into detail like this, right? But from our experience, BioTouch seemed to help. So at some level, yes, it's relaxing and it's letting that natural process proceed, opening up. And as I was saying earlier, this kind of reminded me of how many massage therapists have told us that when they introduce BioTouch into their practice, the body opens. It seems to breathe, and so there's got to be some kind of a connection, because everything, as we know, is connected in that body. And I'm just wondering about that fascia that we had the presentation on, the workshop on not too long ago. Everything is connected by the fascia.
So that reminds me of another little story. I don't know if you ever heard this one. Oh. So we were working at Amity, and there was a cat trying to have birth its kittens.
Oh.
And it had been going on for days. The cat was in total misery.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll never forget John going over to that cat.
Said, I've had it.
Doing the greeting, and started to work on the cat's belly and stuff. Immediately, the cat goes and has the litter.
The litter.
Immediately, as he starts doing it. And she'd been in labor basically for days.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Oh, we've had quite a couple of people who are who have horse ranches and who do a lot of therapy with the horses for kids and stuff. We've had a couple of them in our classes take BioTouch and use it. And of course, we always say, well, you can call that horsey touch or whatever you want, right? Kitty touch. I mean, I've helped a puppy dog. But everything's breathing and living. Why not? Touch is universal.
Yeah. So then Penny talks about the changes in brain activity during labor.
Oh.
She says during labor, the brain gradually switches from a logical, rational left hemisphere orientation to an instinctive and instinctual right hemisphere. You know that, huh?
Get out of here, I hate you.
Right. We've been watching Call to the Midwife, and it's over, and I'm sitting there going, and why do we do this?
Really? Oh my God.
So she says, as this happens, the laboring person becomes less able to think rationally and respond to complicated verbal communication. Don't tell me what to do.
It's all your fault.
At the same time, they become more responsive to mental suggestions such as visualization and imagery, and to physical inputs such as BioTouch.
Ooh.
You don't have to talk about it.
Right.
You just do it.
Just do it.
Again, this woman that had the baby at 10 a.m., her mother, who knew BioTouch, didn't try doing BioTouch on the abdomen.
Yeah.
She stood at the head area while the baby was being born and just did the headset.
There you go.
And just very lightly, didn't try to talk to her, didn't try to, just breathe. Just started doing the headset while she's having the baby, and she could see a definite calming of her daughter.
Not to mention, when we do the headset, it's for the brain, so some of those hormones are being released as well.
Right.
to help, with the stress and the pain and things like that. So my gosh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then Penny goes on to say the benefits during the perinatal period. BioTouch does not overstimulate. BioTouch works when words fail. BioTouch can be implemented by anyone. It's easy and quick for a doula to show BioTouch techniques to partners and families.
Oh, please. That's the main thing, right? I mean, we've often talked about after baby comes home, everything's different for mom, dad, any siblings in the home. I mean, they're having to adjust a little bit. What better way, one of the older siblings maybe helps mom and goes in and does a stress set with her, or just does the headset, or just the greeting, for heaven's sake. Dad, it's just the most beautiful vision, I think, of what family connection really is. It's just loving and caring for each other. And that's really where BioTouch can change the dynamics of that family, I think.
So don't forget, everybody, BioTouch is easy to learn, it's simple to use, and really, we say, has profound results. Profound.
Yeah.
That something so simple can be so effective. In fact, it's so simple, it's really hard to get people to do it.
When we say it's so simple, that is what is profound. Why do we think that anything that's going to work has to be complicated? We've got it all turned around. We've been all thinking that that's the way it is. The most profound, perfect thing is the simple things.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're part of a woman who's pregnant, whether you're the spouse, the boyfriend, the parents, the children, whatever, really look into doing BioTouch. It's easy. We have those 2 workbooks. We download it for free. You can go to our website, just look up on top health conditions and download it from there. If you have personal questions, you can contact us, office@justtouch.com, and we'll make sure you get it into your family. And just imagine those little ones, helping you through your pregnancy, and helping their new baby brother or baby sister come into the world. I mean, imagine what that can do to a family dynamic. What that can do to a
family. And then if those young kids learn BioTouch and they're doing it with their family, what do you think they're going to be doing as adults? That's going to be part of their go-to. They can help everybody in their family, their co-workers, their friends, somebody that they don't even know in an emergency situation. I mean, It's just, we're giving them, BioTouch gives each of us a life tool that we can use.
It's like that ex-CIA agent said, he'd never seen such a more powerful revolution because this one was based on love. It really is about the expression of love without all the intellectual understanding of what that means. It's the power of touch, as Zach Bush said. Touch is an expression of love. He said all you need is 30 seconds of a hug. What we're saying is you just need the greeting.
Yeah. 6 to 8 seconds.
6 to 8 seconds of a light butterfly-like touch on another human being, which is why we touch on the skin. Nothing more powerful than that, folks.
Nope.
And we're here to share it with you. Bev and I are here every Monday. It's only once a month we get to be together.
Yay.
So we'll see you all next week. If you have any questions you'd like us to address, please contact us, office@justtouch.com. Post it in the comments, and we'll get to it because we just love talking.
We do. And sharing BioTouch.
That's right. See you all next week,
Bye.
everybody.
I can feel the pain in sunshine or rain, so it's not caused by the weather, but it doesn't hurt that much after I feel your loving touch and we spend some time together. Take my pain away each and every day. You're an angel from heaven on high. Your butterfly touch helps me heal so much, and I get better as time goes by. You take my pain away.